am blessed, and we are Raw Autism Perspective, aka
R.A.P.
R.A.P. Wrap it up.
R.A.P.
So, how's your week been?
It's been good. Can't complain.
I could dig it.
How about you?
Long and productive, but
all right.
So, hey, Miss Waters, recently, have you heard about the incident that happened with Victor Perez?
Yeah, in Pocatello, Idaho.
Yeah, sad situation.
It's crazy. There is a man in Idaho, a young man, and he was recently shot 9 times by police officers. Apparently, a neighbor across the way or next door seen that he was getting irate with his family members. And they felt like they should help the family out by calling 911. They did not know, and this is coming from an interviewer that one of the neighbors did, he did not know calling the police would escalate to something tragic where the 17-year-old gets shot 9 times. As of right now, we know that he's in critical condition. It is not something that needs to be taken lightly because we've had this same issue with Ryan Gaynor, who unfortunately did not make it. Yeah. So I pray that this young man comes through, because this type of thing keeps happening and It keeps getting overlooked. And we keep saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry to that family and stuff," but we gotta start putting some action forward.
Yeah, what are marches for the autistic kids that are getting murdered?
Yes.
We have marches for everything else, but we have not had a march for an autistic kid being murdered.
No. We've had one actually with Ryan Gaynor. We had one.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we had one actually for him, and it was beautiful to see because that was in the high desert. So it was like, the community came around and put their arms around that family, and we're still fighting for that justice, but it's in time.
That was in the high desert area, right? Victorville, right?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you experienced anything with your daughter Alina in law enforcement before?
No, not at all. And I'm kind of like,
hope not, huh?
I pray to God I don't.
Yeah, I pray to God you don't either.
Because you just never know. Like, a lot of people, they call with the intentions, like that neighbor, they did call with the intentions of helping, not knowing this was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that the responders should have a communication, like a mobile crisis team, who, when they ask these questions, the operator, they come on, they say, 911, what's your call?
Yeah. I
feel like if somebody is reporting and that family member, even though that may be your neighbor, you still know that person has autism or cerebral palsy or whatever the case may be, you should still be like, hey, this person that I'm calling about has autism. I need you to handle this with the utmost care. So that way the 911 operator can relate that. But with the guns just being drawn because you see him with the knife and he's laying down, he can't move. There are a lot of stories going around that he has autism and cerebral palsy. So he was not coming at his family member with the knife. She was trying to de-escalate the situation. He was on the ground, which you could see in the video. And he has the knife, and everywhere that he's trying to turn, he's swinging the knife.
Okay.
But he's not doing none of that. So when they already came with guns blazing, drawn. There's no tasers. The first thing
was a gun.
And this is a knife. So you know how people say, like, there's time frames of where you can actually kind of get the situation under control. A knife, you have more restraint. You can kind of like get that really quick, a little bit faster than you can a gun, because that's it.
Yeah.
All I got to do is just put my finger on the trigger and that's it. Versus a knife, either you run into it or I got to chase you or whatever the case may be. So your first intentions of, let's just bring out the guns. What did that solve?
And then you said he got shot 9 times?
9 times.
Okay.
And guess what? That's not even a coldest part. The cold part is him getting shot, 100%. The stupidest part of this, besides the guns, was there's a fence that is blocking you guys from getting to him. A chain link fence that you can literally put your arm on. Somebody could literally, if you were in training and doing it right, you could have hopped over that fence.
So they didn't even approach the fence? They
approached the fence, but the thing is, you didn't go over the fence. There's something in between y'all. So you could have had, at least in training, in basic training, you're taught to rock climb or go over the wall. Yeah. That's basic training 101. You can't get your butt up there. They are not hiring you. Or if they hire you and you're going to be in the office.
And what state was this in again?
Idaho.
So do you think, you said crisis team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that crisis team should be called to the scene before the police get there?
Yes.
If for the responder, should she contact the crisis team before contacting local police department?
Yes, because if it's something to where nobody is injured, but it's like you're in danger. Okay, so say for example, if I'm behind a door and my daughter has a knife, just saying, I'm going to call the mobile crisis to come. When you tell me that you're about 5 minutes out, I'm going to call the police. To let them know my daughter has a knife behind this door. She has autism. I already called the mobile crisis team. They're already on their way. They're going to be here by the time you have an officer here. I need you to talk with that person to get more information of how you should basically treat my daughter. Should you be aggressive? Should you be calm? Like that type of stuff. Because in between those calls that we're having, the mobile crisis team could ask me the quick questions. How is your daughter? Is she okay? Is she crying? Or is she angry? Then on top of that, you could ask me, does she do this often? So you could kind of get a report of her. So that way you have that sheet already, give it to the officer. This is what we're dealing with. This is how you need to act.
So do you think, should the crisis team, I feel like the crisis team should contact the police department. I think you did enough as a parent because you go through so much as it is. By calling the crisis team, I feel like the crisis team should be the ones contacting the local, police department.
You want to know why I say no to that? And that's a good idea. But I would just say no because in my mind, while you're saying that, I'm trying to make sure that even though I relayed this information, you didn't just have a messed up day and you didn't repeat everything that I said to this officer. I need to make sure that the operator heard this on recording of what I said about my child. So that way it's all there. So there's no, oh, well, he said, she said. I don't care because once there's a bullet in my child, all this accident stuff in my mind go out the window. Now I'm going to think it's purposeful.
That brings me to the question, how did you feel when you found out about him being shot?
It's another situation. It's another thing that's going to keep happening. It's always going to keep happening. The training, until there's training, like real training that they got to sign their name on, I don't feel like they really going to be held accountable.
Do you think local law enforcement agencies should have a training course for dealing with people who have a certain type of mental disability?
I think it should be a requirement. And I feel like it shouldn't be where we're just saying answer yes or no questions.
Yeah.
I want you to do like the mental test that they do when you're going into law enforcement. I want it to be just like that, where yes, you're answering yes or no questions, but then it's also, how would you handle this situation?
Yes.
I need to see it in your writing. How would you handle this? Not you look at your neighbor's paper, not like there's a key sheet in the back. No, how would you handle this? I want to know your honest opinion. And most of those is not going to be a yes or no question. It's going to be you writing it out, because I want to see in the depth of your sentence. I want to see how detailed you got. I want to see how this made you feel inside. I don't want to see no, oh, well, I would just call the parent, or, like just some weird sentence. Like, I want you to be very detailed, because I want to make sure that you understand what you're getting yourself into, that you're literally for the community and that you're not here to harm them.
And this is nationally, not just
nationally. This should be a requirement. Yes.
Every law enforcement agency
right
should.
But then you have certain states who have different rules and see things very differently. So then people say, okay, well, we can't do this because this state, Georgia, might have it to where, no, if someone is coming at them, they are to shoot first instead of a taser. But why not sit here and just say, you know what? If these are your rules and laws in this state, how do I work around? How do I find like that loophole where I can make it make sense to where it works in our benefit, the community's benefit? Not saying how do like I undermine you and, say forget your rules and regulations, but you said no, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, would this also be an alternative? Like, could I do it this way instead? And if you say, yeah, I could bear with you with that. Okay, we're meeting halfway. It's not just a no because you just want every person that has autism to get shot. Yeah. I need to see that you give a damn, because a lot of people aren't seeing that you care. A lot of people are seeing that it's just kind of like a 911 call. He has a knife. Who is this? Blah, 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 blah. It's no detail. There's no thought process that's like, hey, that person got autism. We got to still protect them. Even though we're trying to protect that person, we still got to protect the other person, because we don't want nobody going in the body bag at the end of the day. We don't want anybody losing a family member.
Because cognitively, they're not in the right state of mind to be like, I'm not trying to hurt you. They're not able. Some are not able to voice, okay, I'm not trying to hurt them. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm going through right now. So I acted out this way. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these law enforcement agencies are not teaching them and training on how to deal with situations like this. Now, you do have quote unquote negotiators, right? But negotiators only come to like hostage situations.
Right.
I feel like the training needs to be implicated in, like you say, a requirement. It needs to be a requirement.
Right.
Because regardless of him like they say, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Mm-hmm. Who was he gonna hurt with the knife? Out of all those officers that was there, who was he gonna hurt with the knife? And then I could have swore they was taught to pull the taser before they pull the gun. Yes. Right?
Yes.
So
because the taser is your warning shot.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Let me de-escalate the situation with this taser, and because I'm sure if they would have hit him with a taser,
he would have been down.
Knife would have dropped, and he would have been cool. Well, not cool, but
he would have been better than what he is right now.
Exactly.
Right.
I really agree with you that it should be a requirement in every local law enforcement agency. It should be a training course that they all should go through, because this is, in my opinion, it's senseless murders.
Right.
And only people left to deal with it is the families.
Right.
So I feel like with Perfectly Puzzled Foundation, the vision, the mission, trying to get law enforcement agencies to understand that y'all do need these training courses, I think that is a great vision and mission and journey to keep pushing for.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get that underway, because we see a lot of people need it, especially out here. So we've already been in contact with one officer, won't say his name, but we've already been in contact with an officer. So we'll try to see if we can get a meeting and see what we can do as far as our training course and provide it to them. And I feel like with the mobile crisis, even if we have their therapists, the kids or the adults, if they have a therapist, maybe we can implement something. They have a little hotline just in case an emergency happens, because they know that person the best because they've talked to them on a day-to-day or worked with them on a day-to-day. So I think, with time, everything is going to happen the way it should, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, I really feel like that's a great idea and should be implemented across the nation. Sending thoughts and prayers to the family of Victor Perez and the communities that's there supporting the families. Please, please, please stay helping the family get through this. And like I say, we agree on training.
Yes. So if you can get involved with your community, and even by talking to your neighbors, getting to know one another, that will be helpful. And if you know that one of your neighbors has someone with a rare disability or a relatable disability, please help them as much as you can. Voices in the community is what's needed.
Yes.
So please keep his family in your prayers, and see you guys next time. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. This is a wrap.